his 10th start of the year, his 10th start in this Cy Young pursuit. We welcome inside. Hope you're having a great night so far. Joe Davis and Orr Hershiser. The Dodgers dropped the first game here in Phoenix 4-1, but as they've now won 15 of their last 19 games, bouncing back last night, they have not suffered back-to-back defeats in that span.
On top of the National League West, almost on top of Major League Baseball, these Dodgers are playing very good ball. And
we mentioned it's going to be Shohei Ohtani for the Dodgers. Zach Gallen goes for the Diamondbacks. You would call it a great pitching matchup. Gallen's not been as good lately, though, but you can call it an intriguing one between these two.
Shohei's trying to get better. Zach Gallen trying to find his April form or form from a few years ago, but it does pencil in as a good pitching matchup.
And Ohtani's coming off 6 no-hit innings his last time against the Rockies, #1 in several categories in the big leagues.
It is a big night when he's going to hit. It's a big night, even bigger when he's going to pitch. And that fastball, the sweeper, the curveball, and the split, I love watching him pitch. I love seeing the emotions. We're going to see the electric fastball again tonight, 97 to 100 miles an hour. The sweeper has been the best secondary pitch, but don't fall asleep on the split finger and the curveball.
All right, so we've got Ohtani, the pitcher, covered. Down to the field for Ohtani, the hitter, with Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. If we go back to mid-May, Shohei Ohtani had those 2 days off from being the DH, and since then he's allowed himself to reset offensively, and he has been on a tear, including an 18-game on-base streak heading into this game today. Dave Roberts shared this afternoon that due to the success he's been having offensively, as well as his dominance on the mound, they feel very good about him getting back to his two-way self. And tomorrow he can have the full day to recover. So for now, it's emptying the tank and allowing himself to reset tomorrow, guys.
All right, Kirsten, Ohtani for the Dodgers, Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks. We've got first pitch coming up on Sportsnet LA. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. The real sourdough star is back at Carl's Jr. You can get it for just $5.99 for a limited time. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Shohei Ohtani ready to lead things off for the Dodgers. He led off yesterday's ball game with a double. That was his 29th time since the start of last year that he started a game with an extra base hit. That's 8 more than any other hitter. And of course, the last 2 times that he's pitched, he started those games with home runs. Freddie Freeman, not too shabby either. Coming off a 3-hit ball game yesterday. Just his latest big game in this ballpark, where he is a .377 hitter in his career. The lineup for the Dodgers is presented by your SoCal Helpful Honda dealers. Pages, sandwiched between those two guys we featured, with Mookie Betts hitting cleanup, knocked in what ended up being the decisive run yesterday. Kyle Tucker's in right field, followed by Max Muncy at third base. Will Smith's back in the lineup, hoping for a little better luck tonight after he got robbed of a couple of hits in the first game of this series. With the Alexes down at the bottom of the order, Colin left, and Freeland at second. Now, there's a lot of talk about what is the best way to handle Ohtani. Should he pitch and hit on the same day? Should he have the day after off? Well, pretty much since that talk began, he said, "I'll show you." And in his last 2 starts, he's gone deep to lead off the game.
Rested with good posture at the plate and looking for his fastball command on the mound, but I think it'll be good enough against this Arizona team.
And again, Zach Gallen, who gave up 5 runs on 8 hits in his last start. 3 of those 8 hits rocket home runs from the Mariners last Friday. Finishing off a month of May where he had a 7 ERA.
Top of the lineup has really gotten to him this year, and he'll start out with 2 of the toughest hitters with Pages and Ohtani. He's going to try and be real edgy, try and get you to chase, but he's having trouble putting people away. The whiff percentage way down, and the hard hit rate is way up. So this is what he's going to throw at you, and this is what he threw against the Dodgers. The fastball made it through, but they got a home run on the knuckle curve.
That was on opening day, his 4th consecutive season as the opening day starter for the D-backs, and was cruising in that game, if you recall. He gave up just 1 hit over the first 4 innings, but then 4 runs in the 5th without getting an out. And it was kind of a snapshot of what was to come big picture this year, where it was a good start. He had a 2.19 ERA in April, but then fallen off a cliff with that 7 ERA in May. He's one of the top pitchers in baseball over a few years span. 2022 through 2024, he was top 5 in Cy Young voting twice. He won more games than anybody in the National League. Going into last year, which was the final year of his initial contract, it's like, boy, this guy's a year away from getting paid. They were talking high $100 million deal up into the 200s, but he had the worst season of his career last year. Really bad time to have that, and had to settle for a 1-year contract, and he's been even worse this year.
Well, he's got about 2/3 of this season left to get it turned around. So if he finds his location, he loves to spin the baseball. He loves the slider. He loves the curveball. He loves to be on the edges and get you in bad counts. But so far this year, he's been in a lot of hitters' counts.
4-1 Diamondbacks on Monday. The Dodgers responded with a 6-5 win yesterday, and they've won 15 of their last 19. Still no back-to-back losses in that time. So here we go. Ohtani, today's pitcher for the Dodgers, leads off the game at the plate. And chops the first pitch foul. Double, triple, 2 runs knocked in yesterday. 5 out of 8 over the first 2 games of this series. You go back to the start of May when we were having all those discussions about, okay, what does he need to get going? What kinds of time should he have off versus pushing him and all the two-way duty? It's as if he hears that and looks at it as a challenge and says, you'll see. Because since that rough start, an 18-game on-base streak where he's hitting well above 400.
Very special talent with a very special body that he has a great feel for, and he is a feel player. We can talk about his mechanics or his posture or what he's going to do on the mound, how much rest he needs or not, but he is a...
Well, that's a smash that sneaks by Vargas, and Ohtani's aboard to lead it off again.
Wow. He can create some holes with the exit velocity. And this one, he hits it through him.
108.
Is that all? Gallen is almost 50% hard hit balls, and you know Ohtani up there is going to hit it hard.
And that has been ruled a base hit.
I hope so.
He's aboard, and Pages is up. 13 home runs this season for Pages. The first of those 13 came against Zach Allen on opening day, as they broke it loose in the 5th inning after doing a whole lot of nothing over the first 4. Pages had a hit, knocked in a run yesterday. Now 51 this year to lead the big leagues. The 0-1 from Gallen. Lofted to left center field. Tommy Troy coming on, and he's got it for the first out. So one of the hottest hitters starts the game with a base hit. The other hot hitter comes up right here in Freddie Freeman. 3 for 5 with a home run yesterday, and the extra base hits have started flowing.
Yeah, his strength looks like it has really come along. Before, earlier in the year, when he was struggling with average, he was hitting it hard, but mainly on the ground. But now he's got some pop in his swing.
More than half of his hits in that span you see on the graphic there in yellow have been for extra bases. Grounds this one up the middle, and it could be 2 as Perdomo takes it to the bag and throws to first, ending the inning. Zach Allen needs just 7 pitches to go to the Dodgers in the first. Here come the Diamondbacks. Ketel Marte gets the day off, and so Gerardo Perdomo slides up and bats leadoff. Corbin Carroll went deep yesterday. He's in right field, followed by Gabriel Moreno, one of their hottest hitters. Arenado's having a great first season with the Diamondbacks. He's doubled and homered in this series. Pavin Smith DHs, Ryan Waldschmidt in center, Vargas, Fernandez, and Troy to round things out against Shohei Ohtani, who fired 6 no-hit innings against the Rockies last week. And as we look at Range Rover's Sport Engineered to Win, it takes his ERA to 0.82, which is the 4th best through 9 starts ever. DeGrom in 2021, Juan Marichal in 1966, and Dutch Leonard in 1914 for the Boston Red Sox, which was the greatest season ever pitched in the American League. He'd finish that off with an ERA below 1. And Ohtani has his sights set on a similarly historic season, on a mission trying to win his first Cy Young.
99 pitches in his last start. 88 of them were his fastball and his sweeper. But tonight he's looking for better fastball command. He had 4 walks.
Perdomo to start things for Arizona. Ohtani runs that clock all the way down and comes home with a fastball for a strike.
This is the arsenal, but really look at the top 4. That's what he's going to throw the most. The 4-seamer, the sweeper, the curveball, and the splitter. We'll see what he has a feel with tonight.
6 no-hit innings, but if you ask him, he didn't have a feel for much. He said afterwards, I'd rather give up a few hits and be efficient, be able to get deeper into the game, because he walked 4, he hit a batter, and he was the most frustrated pitcher in baseball history coming off 6 no-hit innings. This is 0-1 to Perdomo, misses badly.
That is called jumping rope. You have your knockdown pitches that are at the top of the strike zone / near your shoulders, and then you have jumping rope down there making them move their feet.
Misses badly again. He's almost hit him with a fastball, and then he makes him jump rope with a sweeper.
He's looking for his rhythm out there, and he's looking to catch his breath. He was on first, you know, hit the bullet as the leadoff hitter. Had to jog down to second at the beginning of that double play ball that Freddie Freeman hit. Had to run into the dugout, go down into the tunnel a little bit, get his pitching stuff going, and then get out there. The first warm-up pitch when he got to the mound with about 1:10 until the inning was going to start, he threw it to the backstop. He's looking for his rhythm out there for sure.
And Mark Pryor was saying after the last start, and he was as visibly frustrated as he was with those 6 no-hit innings, that ornery is maybe too strong a word, but it's definitely more of a burn that we see when he's pitching than you see when he's hitting.
I love seeing the emotions. And I don't want to see the negative emotions, but we've seen the positive ones too. Big strikeouts as he heads back to the dugout with a growl or a cheer.
Kicks and fires a payoff on the ground to first, and he ends up getting Perdomo, as he almost always does against the leadoff guy. I mean, there's not a ton of traffic against him, period, but one of the ways to have extra low stress is to have an on-base percentage against leadoff men of 180.
If you get 2 strikes, if you're the leadoff guy, if you have a runner in scoring position, all the batting averages are below 100.
Right, it's like he doesn't let you on, but then when he does, you can't get a hit against him. 3 for 36 with runners in scoring position. Ball on Corbin Carroll. Faced these Diamondbacks last September in his return from Tommy John. 6 scoreless innings and what was his finest start of the regular season. Gets his fastball by Carroll. Count evens 1-1. Carroll went deep yesterday. Diamondbacks charged back into that game from down 4-0, from down 6-2, but fell a little bit short. And as inspiring of a comeback as it was, they had to be kicking themselves a little bit for leaving 12 men on base. There were chances to complete that comeback. So Torey Lovullo's team falls to 32-28. Caught the outside corner, 2-2.
Mentioned the frustration he had not being able to go deep in the game, but he does go deep in the game. 8 out of the 9 starts.
Tapper along first, he's got it. 2 out.
8 out of the 9 starts, he has gone 6 or more innings. So this starting staff, the best in baseball. And yes, Yamamoto is the quote-unquote ace, but Ohtani is leading the pack as far as effectiveness and going deep into the games.
Part of that has been that they've stayed on the 6-man rotation, and the original intent of that was to make sure that Ohtani in his first full season stayed fresh, but it's had a trickle-down effect on everybody, both when you talk to the guys and they talk about how they're feeling, and then you look at the numbers.
And it has affected the manager and Mark Pryor too, because they feel like they can push the starter with that extra day's rest in the day they're pitching.
Moreno with the bases empty and 2 out. Yeah, last year they averaged under 5 innings per start. That ranked 28th in the majors. This year, #1 in the majors, averaging almost 6 per start. They've been able to maintain that 6-man rotation even with some injuries, even with Blake Snell only pitching a handful of innings. Tyler Glasnow's been out most of the last month. Eric Lauer, a lifesaver recently in that regard, getting plugged in and pitching well both times. Katie Wu did a piece on The Athletic today, everything we're talking about, detailing the turnaround for the Dodgers in terms of length that they're getting as a result of this 6-man rotation. And you got not just Ohtani, but Sasaki and Yamamoto. This is what they're used to. This is the schedule is in Japan.
Yeah, as long as you know it's going to happen. When it's a surprise, the extra rest, sometimes it can throw off your scheduling of your lifting and your throwing on the side, and sometimes you feel overly strong. But because they're doing it consistently, everybody has the same feeling going into their next start. They feel the strength that they want. They've had the side work scheduling the way they want and playing catch. They've had their weightlifting and their cardiovascular on a set schedule. Remember in the past, we'd show the guys, you know, ERA with 4 days rest, with 5 days rest, with 6 or more days rest, and we'd always have excuses for why one was better than the other. But now they're doing it consistently, so they can get in some very good habits.
They're just all getting all the days of rest. Broken bat, bounce it to Muncy at third, and Ohtani, even though he's searching for it a little bit there out of the chute, works a 1-2-3 first. It'll be Mookie Betts to start off this second for the Dodgers. Had a single, a walk, and knocked in a run in yesterday's ball game. That base hit right there to score Shohei Ohtani ended up being the difference in a 6-5 game. And for Betts, his 7th run knocked in his last 7 ball games. Jumps on the first one that Gallen throws and checks on his shortstop counterpart Perdomo, whose throw is high and pulls him off the bat. Dodgers catch a break to open this second.
Good hustle from Mookie on a routine ground ball that where his average is right now. He could have been kind of slightly dogging it down there, but he ran it all the way through.
And an error on Perdomo.
7 pitches from Gallen. The Dodgers have swung at 6 of them.
Gallen early on in his career really had the Dodgers number, but his last 8 starts against LA, he's 2-4, a .650 ERA. Tucker bunts through it. Kyle 0 for 6 in the 2 games and 3 for his last 26.
Arenado well off the bag at third, and he was a lot deeper until that bunt attempt.
Now, Tucker, 9 years in the major leagues, has 1 sacrifice hit.
Shows you where he is mentally with his swing, how he feels in the box. Yes, you can be up there trying to steal a hit with a bunt, but when you do it in the middle of the way he's swinging the bat, it might give you a little clue that he's not feeling good.
3 bunt hits in his career. Last one was 4 years ago. Put the bunt bat away. Sends a high drive to deep right and goodbye.
He was setting him up.
Yeah. It's Tucker's first in nearly a month, back to May 4th.
Fastball that's up. Oh boy, he puts a sweet swing on it. He knew it right away, and he had a chance to enjoy it. Thank goodness you didn't get the bunt down.
Doc says, I like it. I respect it. Love a good bunter. But we'll take that. Muncy to second, one away.
Well, knowing Doc, he probably suggested maybe a bunt to kind of get him going, but Doc with the high five to him as he's rounding the bases, like, yeah, I'm glad that you were following the coaching, but I'm also glad that you went deep.
And so after Zach Gallen gave up 3 rockets in Seattle last weekend, it's a home run that starts the scoring against him today. Fastball sails away on Will Smith. And as Gallen strikeouts have gone down and the contact has gone up through the years, the home runs have gone way up. Sometimes you'll see contact go up, but it's softer contact and they're just getting outs a little bit differently. Well, no, it's not just been more contact, it has been loud.
We can chalk up the Dodgers swinging the bat aggressively in the count to they want to be aggressive, but a lot of his pitches, and they're not edgy. He's thrown a lot of balls in the middle of the plate here so far through 13 pitches. Another one.
At third, Arenado just in time at first. Got that perfect baseball clock. 2 out. There's some thought that the extra struggles this year from Gallen had to do with ABS. He's somebody that, as you've talked about, lives on the edges, likes to go a little bit wider and a little bit wider, and exercise the umpire's eye a little bit. Obviously not going to get those calls all the time anymore because of ABS. But forget that. When he's missing over the plate, that ain't the problem.
Yeah, he's looking like he's a halves of the plate guy right now, not trying to hit the edges at all. And that'll tell you right there. When you get into the 0-1, the 1-2, the 0-2 counts, and you see what kind of pitches the pitcher likes to throw and what is he doing with the target with his catcher. They were trying to go edge there, but he missed by a mile. There they were going in and he threw it right down the middle. Even in the count or ahead in the count as a pitcher, when you're going inside to a hitter, it's either on the edge or it's too far in. It's not over the middle. That's a glaring mistake.
1-2 to call. It is smacked to right field, a base hit. Cut off by Carroll. Call hangs on with a 2-out single.
Second baseman, number 76, Alex Freeland.
Dodgers spreading their hits out. Ohtani gets the hit in the leadoff spot. Tucker hits the home run in the 5th spot, and now Call gets a base hit in the 8th spot.
And it gets Alex Freeland to the plate. Singled, scored a run, had a sacrifice bunt yesterday. Didn't have a sacrifice bunt in the minor leagues. Had a few in college at UCF, but he said those were scored wrong. He was bunting for a hit there and wound up getting scored as sacrifices. Flies this ball to left field. Troy a long way to go. Hat comes off as he gets under it. Yeah, and makes the catch to end the inning. Kyle Tucker knocked in just 1 over the last week. He knocks in 2 with 1 swing, and the Dodgers strike first. To Phoenix, if Ohtani and the Dodgers get 7 strikeouts in this game, everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. 1-2-3 first inning for Ohtani on 3 ground outs. It'll be Nolan Arenado to start the second. And a curve lands for a strike. Arenado went deep in the first game of this series, doubled home a pair yesterday. He's looked like the old Arenado, hasn't he?
Yeah, old in one way, the production, but new as far as a more compact swing.
Woo. Lollipop of a curve on the first pitch and then a blur of a fastball to his head on the second.
That was pretty close, but he loses his balance and it makes it look worse. So you can see that it's a good foot away from his head after he moves it, but that could be scary when you got close to 100 miles an hour coming up at or after the lollipop curveball, which was the first curveball he's thrown in this game. made Perdomo jump rope, and now he shoulder head high to Arenado.
I don't know what this jump rope when you're jumping over the bar. I don't know what that was when he's.
He just lost his balance getting out of the way. A little bit of fear and a little bit of tangled feet.
I was looking for like a parallel to jumping rope.
Okay. Stumbling. I don't know.
Yeah.
Exercise.
And a fastball flies by him. Strike three. First one of the game for Ohtani. Fastball, the third most valuable single pitch in the National League. Jacob Mizorowski's fastball that averages 102. And Christopher Sanchez's changeup. By the way, pop champagne, buddy.
Oh, come on.
Sanchez took a shutout into the 7th inning today against the Padres, running his scoreless inning streak to 51 1/3 before giving up a run. And so you're safe.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but I was pulling for him, but I don't think my friends and family were. My phone kind of lit up after the run.
You don't have to. This is safe space. You don't have to be a politician. You don't want to break your record. Come on. It's okay.
It was a special time in my life, changed my life, and if it changes somebody else's life, that'll be just fine.
You're sweet. He does finish with the 5th longest scoreless inning streak in Major League history, and he's making things tough on Ohtani in this early Cy Young conversation. What he's going to have in his favor drastically is going to be innings pitched. Ohtani and really all these Dodgers being on the 6-man rotation.
I really feel with Shohei and the amount of work that he's going to get, Yamamoto, they're going to have special individual games that will weigh heavily into the factor of the voters when they look at the overall numbers. I don't think Shohei is going to end up with the most strikeouts in the league. He's not going to have the most innings. He could end up with the lowest ERA, but they could downgrade that because there's not enough innings in their head.
2-2 to Pavin Smith, breaks inside, and the count is full.
If you could reel off a no-hitter or two, that would do something special for the voters.
They did ask Dave Roberts today, okay, hypothetical, say he's got a no-hitter through 7 innings on 100 pitches. Would you consider letting him go? And he said, absolutely. Strikes out Smith on a sweeper. Back-to-back strikeouts to get this second inning going.
The foundational pitches are the fastball and the sweeper. That's all he threw in the first inning, and then all of a sudden he throws Arenado that curveball and the knockdown pitch. And now he's mixing his pitches a little bit.
He's retired the first 5. The rookie Waldschmidt comes up and gets the same treatment that Nolan Arenado did, and that is a first pitch curve. Ohtani still has not given up a hit all year on that pitch, because a lot of times it freezes guys first pitch. And Ohtani shouting over there to the on-deck circle. Tomorrow Vargas wants him to slide over so he can see the timer. And then a sweeper grounded to Betts. 6 up, and thanks to Freddie Freeman, 6 down. The ball came out in the transfer. All right, to the 3rd, 2-0. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Yeah, he's got some practice doing this from home games where pitched that top of the 1st inning, hustles over there and gets ready to lead off the bottom of the 1st. And just the way the lineup sets up here, that's what he's got to do for the 3rd. 6 up, 6 down on the mound for Ohtani, and 1 for 1 at the plate. Pretty perfect days so far for the one and only.
Well, his last 8 innings have been no-hit innings over the last 2 starts, including 2 perfect innings tonight so far. He got 3 outs on his fastball so far tonight and 3 outs on his sweeper. I don't think it's a jinx when he's hitting that we talk about that.
No, you time it right. Safe. A changeup right there from Gallen has been his one saving grace as the breaking stuff has disappeared. League's hitting 156 against that pitch.
And it's a good one. It's not just because he throws it rarely. It has got some depth there and good arm speed.
And now you get to the count where he's been the worst pitcher in baseball. 2 strikes. Unthinkable for a guy that was top 10 in strikeout rate during his best seasons. Comes home with a 1-2 to Ohtani. Curve is in the dirt. When you're looking at breaking balls, put those into a bucket. The value they bring. 2022 through 2024, he was in the 95th percentile. He's dead last in breaking ball run values this year. 2-2.
It's not like the curveball right there is not sharp. It's sharp. He must just be hanging it an awful lot.
Ohtani leading off the 3rd. And watching ball 4 just off of the plate. First walk issued by Gallen. We get a word from Morongo.
Midland live July 18th. Get tickets now. Morongo.
So Ohtani's been on both times. Sandy Pages comes up.
That was the old Gallen fastball right there, even though he walked him. Just to an elite hitter with an elite eye. You know, I have felt since we've gotten to the ABS that the umpires bear down on every pitch a little bit more. And maybe that has stolen some strikes from him.
Pages sends one towards the right field corner. Carroll's not going to get there. It nestles in, bounces into the corner. Ohtani stops at 3rd on another extra base hit for Andy Pages.
It's a good piece of hitting. It's a slider, and he just stays inside the ball and drives it down the line. He has a feeling maybe it's going to go foul. Hesitation coming out of the box, but sees it's got enough backspin to stay fair, and just barely stays fair. Shohei getting some exercise as he runs the bases, and Carroll getting into the corner there. Looked like he took a few too many steps to get to that ball.
Freddie Freeman. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Dodgers looking for another big start to this game. They had yesterday with 2 in the 1st and 2 in the 2nd.
You'd love to give Shohei in to score with no outs, so he gets plenty of rest.
On the 1-0 from Gallen, Freeman couldn't lay off, and the count evens 1-1. Turnaround for Freddie in terms of the power lines up almost exactly with when he started thinking to himself, swing up. He's in San Diego, sat sitting in his hotel room. I got to come up with something to trigger the right swing, and found the fix.
Feel compared to real. What is the feeling I need? What am I going to work on in the cage? Tee work. What's going to keep the bat extended through the hitting zone?
Get off me ball and get on in Ohtani and Pages. Freeman will throw on the brakes with a 2-run single, and it's 4-0.
He gets more what people will classify cheap hits to the opposite field than almost anybody, but it's because he keeps his hands inside, and he just does a great job pushing the ball off himself. A lot of times this ball leaves the bat in the air and it's a blooper down the left field line. This one, he finds a way to squib it by Arenado.
And what a great example that it's important to distinguish real versus feel. He's talking about swing up. You hear that and you're like, oh no, you shouldn't swing up, try to hit fly balls. That's not what it's leading to. It's leading to the kind of swing that's made him a surefire Hall of Famer. And it's not always the prettiest, but it just might be the most effective out there.
Well, the feel he had is that he was cutting his swing off and the bat was going into the strike zone and out of the strike zone very quickly. So he was trying to figure out something in his mind. How do I get the bat moving forward towards the ball and towards the pitcher longer so it's in the hitting area longer? And he came up with the idea of, oh, if I think about swinging up, I'm going to have the bat extending towards the pitcher over his head almost. And that's going to keep me on line longer. And it's not exactly what happens when he launches the bat now, but it's the feeling he was looking for. It was the thought he was looking for.
And I thought it was fascinating when he told us that all that thinking and wiring that swing thought in happens before the game. There is zero of that, of any kind of thinking, once he gets into the batter's box and the game is started. No 1-1 on Betts. Reached on an air his first time, and it turned out to be a key one because Tucker homered right after. The air was on Perdomo. He's having a nightmare year. Oh, 0-2. Throw down to first. Freeman's just barely in there as Betts goes down on strikes. Freddie was getting extra froggy there. Took an aggressive secondary lead. Moreno saw it and almost backpicked him.
Freddie's had a laugh down there when they're trying to pick him off last night, and he said, I'm not going anywhere. And now they're going to backpick him too. Probably going to have to tell him, well, I might go somewhere if Mookie hits the ball.
So Tucker trying to build off this.
Dodgers are 4 for 5 off of Gallen's fastball with that home run.
First home run for him in a month. And back to the conversation we had with Dave Roberts yesterday about he's not been without flashes, maybe not the home runs, but moments where you think, okay, here it comes. Can he sustain it? Can he build off a good moment? He always has. OPS through the years. It's always going to wind up in the same place. You can always count on it being north of 800. 734 with that home run. But that is low for him. Go back to when he became an everyday player in Houston. Year by year, 917, 808, 886, 993, 841 last year in a year where he was hurt for a lot of the year. That's to illuminate both how tough this has been for him these first 2 months, and also to show you that you got 100 games left, and the track record tells you not only can you trust it's going to be there, you should trust that at the end it's going to be up above 800.
Definitely more patient in this at bat with a home run in his back pocket.
Three-two comes home. Tucker swats his second hit of the day into left. For more on Kyle Tucker, we go down to Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. I spoke with Kyle yesterday just about, of course, him taking batting practice on Saturday, what he's been looking to do. And he says right now, when he looks at his swing, there's just a lack of consistency to it. He's felt that he's trying to make better contact. He feels like he's doing that. But he's looking for more backspin, and he's looking to be hitting the ball to the middle of the field. Whereas he's found, yes, outside of the home run, of course, he's found that recently he's hitting the ball hard but on the ground, and he's having a little bit too much top spin with it. So right now he's trying to make some of those adjustments. So with taking batting practice was really just to get a better feel for things, guys.
It is definitely a better swing tonight. Yes, of course, the home run, but then to follow a pull home run that you've absolutely launched on a breaking ball and a 3-ball 2-strike count, to go the opposite way on a breaking ball and backspin it, not slice it over there. That's some really good strides to, when he goes back and watches the video of those two swings, he can see some things to build on.
4 runs on 6 hits already for the Dodgers. And again, Zach Gallen, he's now given up 9 runs on 14 hits in his last 7 innings. 2 on, still just 1 out. Max Muncy's up there. Curveball falls in for a strike. Max is in a much better place today. I mentioned yesterday, as frustrated as I've seen him during a batting practice session in his time with the Dodgers. And went 0 for 4, a couple more strikeouts last night, but in good spirits today. Swing was feeling better. Gallen's 1-1 to him. He has completely gone away from the fastball. And this is something that will happen with Gallen. We talk about him being confident with it to the corners, but when he doesn't have it, things spiral. And he also has a tendency to stay away from it when it starts to get hit. He gave up a base hit on it to Alex Call last inning, and since then he's only thrown 4 of them in his last 23 pitches.
He hasn't been able to put the Dodgers away either. They've gotten 6 guys to 2-strike counts, and here's the 7th guy he's gotten to a 2-strike count. And of the 6 guys prior to this, 5 have reached.
And the breaking stuff so spectacular in his prime. You can't just go up there and throw nothing but the breaking pitches and have them be good. Those were so good because the fastball was so good setting it up.
His curveball is sharp, but only when it's a ball.
Fastball turned around, squatted into center field. Another hit for the Dodgers. Here comes Freeman. Throw runs out of steam, and it's 5-0.
7 guys the 2-strike counts, and now 6 of them have reached. 1 with a walk, the others with hits. Low fastball, Max stays on it, slightly below the knees. He hits it hard, creates his own hole. Freddie easily gets home.
Snaps an 0 for 8 to open this series for Muncy. 3 in the bank here in the 3rd, and now Will Smith. Will grounded out his first time. I think Moreno needs some work on that glove. Pets' heads are falling off. Let's get a word from Pizza Hut.
Los Angeles fans know who the real MVP is of game day grub, cause no one out-pizzas the Hut.
You just get a new one.
Usually catchers have 2 or 3 that are already broken in, and they'll start working on the gamer that he was started with, replacing the leather and patching it up. One of the special talents of trainers is being able to relace gloves.
It is a special talent. My son's glove broke the other day, and I just gave up. Chopper foul.
You almost have to take a video of how you, when you're undoing it, to get your new piece of leather in there with the real thick needle to get in there and re-sew it.
I tried using a skewer. Like for kebabs.
Yep.
Marshmallows. Gloves.
Grilled vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
The Mizuno company used to bring a glove making van or RV, and it was so interesting back in the day to watch them build gloves.
To straightaway short in Perdomo, and Gallen needed that badly. Dodgers score 3 runs though and have a 5-0 lead. Freddie Freeman with a 2-run single, and Max Muncy adds on with a base hit of his own. This team has done well. Play defense. Allstate Good Hands replay yesterday, a 6-5 win. The offense was good, and the defense, the hidden hand in hanging on to that 6-5 win, because the Diamondbacks had threat after threat, and anytime the Dodgers had a play to make, they made it. Tomorrow Vargas leads off the third, with the Diamondbacks still looking for their first base runner against Ohtani. Dave Roberts said the other day, "Show me a good defender, and I'll show you a good teammate." So that's the #1 quality behind a good defender, is the want to, the willingness.
They needed that defense last night. Arizona pushed the tying run into scoring position, 7th, the 8th, and the 9th.
We're talking about Corbin Burns coming back soon from Tommy John. They announced today he has suffered another injury and is not going to be available until very late in the season, best case scenario. The reason I'm bringing that up, you might have just heard it leak through on our microphones. They announced they'll hold a press conference tomorrow, just when things are starting to feel like they're headed in the right direction. Big blow.
Is not good news for the Diamondbacks, and especially with a team that is kind of holding their own and got hot and got themselves in a place where they're going to be ready for a wild card chase and think they're going to get healthy. That would have been a big piece.
They're now tied with the Padres, by the way, who lost their 4th in a row today. They're 8th out of their last 9. 5 of those 8 losses coming against Philadelphia. 3-2. Destroys the bat. Bounce it down to Freeman, who'll take it himself. Ohtani's retired the first 7. He's got 2 strikeouts and 5 weak ground balls.
7 up, 7 down, and the Dodgers already have 7 hits. There's an imbalance in the scoreboard in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and that's been a theme lately early on in games. The Dodgers, over the first 3 innings in this series, outscoring the Diamondbacks 10-1. When you go back to the start of the last homestand, first 3 innings, outscoring opponents 23-3. That one got away from him, and a ball on the rookie Fernandez.
Slipped. Absence of malice, was not on purpose.
Those fast starts, both, of course, the offense finding its stride and the starting pitching continuing to dazzle. 9 consecutive games, 2 or fewer earned runs allowed by the Dodgers starter. The 1-1 from Ohtani is a fastball that he offered at strike 2. Struck him out. 3rd for Ohtani.
Batter number 3. Old school rock and fire delivery gives him a little momentum. Help that arm kind of cruise.
4 away from Jumbo Jacks. Another one that got away from him for a ball on Tommy Troy. Since the start of May, hitters are 1 for 37 against his sweeper. He's doubled the usage on that pitch. It was 20% of his usage in April, 40% since the start of May. Ride it if it's working.
Very confident in his Tommy John surgery when you're throwing that many.
Whew.
That looks extra hard, but it was 97, but it came after the slow curveball that slipped out and the sweeper that was a strike on the edge, and then he just blows it by you.
Here he comes with a 1-2 pitch.
High fastball or something in the dirt.
Curveball sinks a little bit low. If that was a strike, Troy had no chance.
There's such a good shape to that curveball too. When you've been throwing a sweeper and getting on the side of the ball, and then to be able to get to the front of the baseball for that, that's awesome.
Artistry. High line drive center field, no big deal. Pages, 3 perfect innings for Ohtani, and that's 9 innings and no hit ball back to last week.
Urging youth everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you.
Two in the second, 3 in the third for the Dodgers. And Alex Carr to lead off the 4th against Zach Gallen. Singled against him his first time. Bringing that high energy down to the bottom of the Dodger lineup. I asked him today, have you always been that high energy guy? Like if I'd watched 12 and under Alex Carr play, was it like that? And he said, it's funny, I've never thought about it as high energy. Popped into right field. Carroll will get there. He said, I've always thought about it as bringing joy and trying to be a positive light that hopefully everybody around me can feel. But he has this, I don't look at it as high energy. I just look at it as being me, being positive, and hopefully rubbing off. One away in this 4th for Freeland.
He's definitely succeeding with that, for sure.
I was telling you about Freeland and having not bunted in a really long time until he got to the big leagues, not even trying to bunt. I said, when did you add that to your practice repertoire then? And he said, my first day in the big leagues. When he got up to the plate and he thought to himself, oh, he followed a rushing double, and he's thinking, oh no, they're asking me to bunt here. Sure enough, he turns around, looks at Dave Roberts, and Doc gives him the sign, yeah, you're bunting. He popped it up. Has not missed a day of bunting practice since. Hadn't bunted in years, but now it's the first thing he does every day. He's got a base hit into center field here.
Everybody's reached base right now except for Will Smith after that hit.
Baseball at its simplest is pitcher against hitter. And in 11 confrontations in this game, Ohtani is 11 for 11 as the winner. He's retired all 9 that he's faced on the mound, and he's reached both times against Gallen with a single and a walk.
He's got to be the only person to ever do that, because what pitcher leads off? Go 9 perfect on the one side and reach base in your first 2 while you've had 9 perfect, just for the opportunity. 11 for 11. I
You don't think that there would have been a pitcher hitting ninth that would get 2 at-bats and reaching both of them?
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Rare, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to have outstanding offense. You'd be recording 9 outs and also get reach base twice. Yeah, but it's still rare.
Rare is his middle name.
Pretty much. I'm going to say he's the only one to do it from the leadoff spot.
Yeah. Yeah, any of the pitching stuff, when you add leadoff and try and find comps for that, you don't.
Yeah.
There goes Freeland. Got a great jump. Throw from Moreno. Not in time. And a stolen base for Alex Freeland.
Shohei sees him running and just takes it, even though it takes him to a 2-strike count. He is very safe.
First bag of the year for Freeland. Only his second in the majors. Shohei just looks particularly settled and comfortable at the plate these days.
He really does. You know, once he gets in his original posture and then he goes for his load, he barely moves his head and he just a little bit of spine angle change. Very upright here, but then he'll go to load, but it's right in the same spot all the time. It's very little movement. You like it when he reaches up and grabs his left shoulder.
I think the ball just
found him. We didn't hear the scream this time.
There was a little yelp in there.
Was there?
Yeah.
Okay. Something Decoy would do.
Now the payoff from Gallen. Ohtani takes ball 4. He's 12 for 12.
He's a unicorn. There's got to be a higher league to call him up to.
If there was, he'd be the only one in it.
Yeah.
Pages, who doubled his last time. First and second, one away. Sinker to the inside corner. Been more sinker than it has four seam as this outing has gone on. It's as if he said, I just don't have my four seam. Taking the fundamental pitch just completely out of the equation.
You know what I wish for Shohei? I wish he'd ask for the jacket when he's on the bases, just for old time's sake. Maybe we see it if we get cold weather in the postseason.
I was going to say this would not be the place for it.
No.
I'd pass out.
With all the pictures that are taken of him all the time, that would definitely be one where the photographers would just be snapping away. I mean, he cannot leave the dugout during BP or early work or go out to play catch or anything, and there's not at least 5 to 10 photographers taking pictures of every single move. What do you do for a living? I take pictures of Shohei. Anybody else? Nope.
We just talk about him.
Yep.
Even though it's not paid to get shots of him, making sure they do. The one's pain to be able to take pictures of him. 2-2 to Pages. Poke to center. Walshman gets there. First and third with 2 out. Freddie Freeman knocked in 2 his last time, and our Performance Spotlight is sponsored by your Southern California Nissan dealers. 4 hits, home run, 5 knocked in 2+ games.
You don't have to hit it hard, drive him in. Second and third, no out, and he found a hole.
It's like a 50 home run, 140 RBI pace or so at Chase Field in his career. I know Dr. Drewski's over there double checking me right now. Like, your math is so terrible. Gallen ahead 0-2. 1 strikeout in this game for Gallen. Freeland at third, Ohtani at first. I was pretty close on the home run pace. 50 home run pace. 155 RBI pace at Chase Field. If you were to take his career numbers here, turn it into a full season. Lou Gehrig type RBI totals we were talking about last night.
Didn't you say 3 years in a row over 170?
Yeah, in that range. Record of 185 for Lou Gehrig. Still the American League record. National League, Major League RBI record 191. Hack Wilson of the Cubs. One of the great offensive seasons ever with the rabbit ball in 1930. Early on in the Depression, they juiced the ball to help send some offense into the game, and what little money folks had to give them a better reason to use it on going to watch games. Freeman battling, another 1-2 pitch to him, and the count evens 2-2. This has been a slog fight for Gallen. 20 pitches the first 2 innings, just 6 in the first. But a 32 pitch third, and here's his 24th pitch of the 4th. That's a 2-2 to Freeman. Tapped right side, Gallen cuts it off and ends the inning. Dodgers strand a couple but lead by a bunch. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get fired up with a Hot Ones Munchie Meal. 5 runs on 8 hits already for LA. No runs on no hits and no walks against Shohei Ohtani.
He got to the mound with about 45 seconds on the between inning clock. They've actually shut it off, so they're giving him a little grace here. Last time this happened, where he was caught on the bases, he had about 1:10. They didn't have to extend it, but this one they're giving him his full warm-ups. He's thrown about, this is his 5th pitch. We'll see if he catches his breath in time and finds the strike zone, because he's got a good one working. Didn't throw any of those at full speed at all. That was just to get loose.
So Arizona set to get its second look at Ohtani. It's Perdomo to lead off. Grounded out his first time. One day after ending an 0-for-10 skid with a pinch hit base hit. It's leadoff for the first time in a month. Just a one-day thing, though. Ketel Marte, the guy for them there. And that was actually influenced by Shohei Ohtani. Spring training game, Torey Lovello said, facing the Dodgers, Ohtani leading off, he thought, there's something about the feeling that we get when we got to face this guy to start the game. What's the closest thing we could do to that for other teams? And he thought, I'm going to put Marte at the top. Different than it was even a decade ago, where when you put the best hitter at the top of the lineup, it was like, wait, what? He doesn't belong there. Historically, of course, strike three called here, but a challenge coming from Perdomo.
Batter's checking the pitch.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. He caught the corner. He's got his fourth K.
Arizona has one challenge remaining.
But the traditional stereotypes in the order: speedy on base guy at the top, good bat to ball hitter second, your best hitter third, your best run producer fourth. Those have all been thrown out the window.
It all comes down to opportunities, right? Opportunities in the ninth inning. Who do you want up there for that last at bat if there happens to be 2 outs in the ninth and a man up? You want your best hitter. You put him at the top. It's either the top or second now in this generation.
Corbin Carroll bounced back to Ohtani his first time. The 1-0 from Shohei is a strike, and it's 1-1.
When he has to hurry to warm up in between innings because he was on the bases or something.
Freeman at first, race to the bag, won by Ohtani.
It's really good that he only bears down on 2 pitches, the fastball and the sweeper, and that's what he's doing again tonight. I mean, normally about 75% of the time he throws one of those 2 pitches. Tonight he's leaning on him even more. But so when he has to rush out there and get ready to start the inning, it's not like he has to get 7 pitches ready. He can just get his arm loose and already knows the release point of what he's going to probably throw about 80% of the time. One or the other.
Seems like it's the best of both. You have those options of a deep arsenal there if you need them, but you have no question what makes you you. 68 with the curve. Border Naif's territory right there.
He barely fired his legs on that one. He was just kind of lobbing it in there like BP. Looked like a couple of breaking balls that he was actually resting on.
Wants a new ball. Trades that one out.
Not sure, he was just looking for a little rest.
He's got all the tricks. Let's go over 2-1. Moreno takes it for strike 2.
Moreno's timeout is actually probably helping Ohtani.
Here's his 2-2. Moreno, who reached base 3 times yesterday, has been one of their best hitters lately. Got himself with a 3-ball count here. Arizona looking for its first base runner of the night. Another 3-2. Another foul.
Dropped down a little bit on that sweeper.
Pitch number 8, Shohei Ohtani to Gabriel Moreno. Inside the bag, and Arizona's got its first base runner. Tucker's throw to second is not in time, and a 2-out double here in the 4th. Ends a string of 10 straight no-hit innings for Ohtani.
Three and 2 pitch that Ohtani had executed well a couple of times. Just challenges him with an outer half low fastball, and that's just a good piece of hitting. Tip your cap to Ohtani. Tip your cap to Moreno.
He gets Arenado to the plate. Strikeout victim his first time. 1 of 4 for Ohtani.
Stress level of the pitches go up now a little bit, but you still have a 5-0 lead. And if you're hunting a Cy Young, you want to rescue that run for sure.
Here it is. Moreno stays put at second. Smith scampers after that ball.
If Shohei was looking for a rest, it'd be a good time for a visit from his catcher or his pitching coach. Maybe after this pitch if it's a walk.
First time he's worked out of the stretch today. And for a strike that he throws from the stretch. He's back into the count, 3-2.
He's definitely not tired because Moreno's double was the hardest pitch of the night. It was 99.9 miles an hour. If it was 100, it would have been foul.
Three and 0 to 3-2. Yeah, backs up and it's fouled down the line.
Fastball gave up a hit, and it was in a 3-2 count like this. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws the sweeper here.
Ground ball to Max Muncy. Yeah, one third baseman retires another. Arizona gets its first base runner. Ohtani finally gives up a hit. First one he's allowed in 2 starts. Still though, 5-0. Dodgers in front. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Dodgers got 2 in the second and 3 more in the third. They lead this game 5-0 to the top of the 5th. Zach Gallen stays in, comes home to Mookie Betts. Yeah, misses away with his first pitch. Betts is 0 for 2. He reached on an error and scored the Dodgers' first run in the second.
His hustle turned that into an error by the shortstop. They'd have had some time if he'd have kind of lollygagged it down to first. They'd have had time to get the foot back on the bag, but he hustled, beat it out with them pulling off.
Way up there to center field where Waldschmidt cruises on, puts it away, 1 away. Kyle Tucker's got himself a good night going. A 2-run home run his first time, and then a single the other way.
Home run was impressive, but to follow it up with a breaking ball and taking it the other way with a nice swing right there, that was even more impressive. Give you a little more evidence that he's got a chance to stay hot.
Looking for his first 3-hit game since the 17th of May. It's in Anaheim.
Gets the home run on the fastball, and this at bat gets a breaking ball and a changeup to start the count.
Down to Tucker, a 2-2 offering and a chopper foul.
Gallen pitching him backwards in this at bat. All the breaking stuff, and now the last 2 pitches using the fastball.
Dug out, third hit. All right, so he's crushed a home run. He's singled the other way, and now he's pulled a single.
And he stayed in on this one. It's off speed. He's slightly out in front, but he extends the swing up towards the pitcher Gallen, and that keeps him a hit. Watch the extension on that swing, how he just stayed in his legs, kept the hands moving forward. It was well done. 3 different types of hits with 3 different types of swings.
One away from Muncy. Got his first hit of the series his last time, knocking in a run with a single. You know, Kyle Tucker, even in those all-star seasons, those MVP caliber seasons, the swing always pretty unconventional. And it's always looked like that back in his high school days in Florida. One of the top high school hitters in the country. He was a top 10 draft pick. Some teams, though, couldn't look past the unconventional swing. Didn't think that it would play. Astros did, and they were proven right. Ground ball to first, smothered by Fernandez. They'll go to second for one. Perdomo's throw to first is late.
They erase the lead runner. They attempt the double play with Max's speed from the left side. No way.
They're talking about the unconventional look of Freddie Freeman's swing earlier. Comparisons between those 2 guys throughout the years for, you know, tall left-handed hitters where the swing doesn't look necessarily like you draw it up, but just a knack for getting hits. Smith is grounded out twice.
The only Dodger not to reach base right here. Join the parade, Will. That would have been a nice one to offer at. That would tell me he's sitting soft.
Pulls the sinker down to Arenado. And a scoreless 5th for Gallen. Halfway home in Phoenix.
first 40,000 fans on June 16th and take home your Dodgers soccer jersey presented by Bank of America. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
All Dodgers in this game so far behind that man right there and Shohei Ohtani. Ball just got away from the crowd, I think. Eddie Pages retrieving that. Making it somebody else's souvenir. Five, 6, and 7 for the Diamondbacks. Pavin Smith the lead off. Arizona just one base run over the first 4 innings against Ohtani. Had to work a bit, had to sweat a bit to finish off last inning with them getting Moreno aboard for the first base runner and then a long AB for Arenado. So the pitch count a little bit higher than he likes to be. Ball and a strike on Smith.
This is his 10th start and an ERA. Came into this one under 1. Only has 5 victories. He was a victim of low run support coming into this one. Just over 3 runs a game, 5th worst in the National League, but enjoying that 5-run spot up there now.
Liking that curveball tonight.
He's definitely using it. We haven't really seen the split.
Now, the league's hitting almost 300 against a splitter, but $130 against everything else.
No cutters on there. He's got 7 pitches. He's used 4.
His 2-2 is swung on and missed for his 5th strikeout.
This is the fun part of the game for Ohtani. I mean, you got a 5-0 lead. You've been out there. You know you've got your good stuff. Nobody's on base right now. You got through the one little inning where you give up the double. This is just fun time to pitch.
Waldschmidt comes up. Yeah, a swing and a miss on a first pitch sweeper. Oh, and 2. Well, this is not going to qualify as one of those bold letter standout outings that you're talking about as far as a no-hitter, perfect game kind of thing to keep up with Christopher Sanchez, but it's another dominant game. He's given up just 1 base runner, about as close as you can be to one of those hallmark outings that you're mentioning without making it official. So the innings gap is pretty great. He's at 60. Sanchez leads the majors at 86. A curve falls out of the sky to get Waldschmidt.
Yeah, he's going to need to check the box of a lot of good, really good outings, and then he's going to need some exclamation points. It might be a 15 strikeout game. It might be a no-hitter. But he's going to need a couple of those, I think, where there's some serious headlines about him and pitching.
Sheesh, fastball right by Vargas. You got to think he gets a boost, whether it's conscious or not, from the fact that he's also one of the best hitters.
I think he will get a boost. I think he'll get a huge boost if he can keep his ERA under 1. It's going to be hard because one bad outing, it's going to be hard to lower it.
Pop fly, left field. On comes Alex Call, and after a longer 4th, lightning quick 5th. Back Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza Parlor, serving up handcrafted pizza, crispy fried chicken, and famous Mojo potatoes since 1954. Taylor Clark, who got the win in the first game of this series, is on to pitch the top of the 6th. His return to Arizona has been a successful one after going to Kansas City for a few years. Pours in a strike to Alex Call. Dodgers looking for a 16th win out of their last 20 games. Trying to join the Braves as the only teams in the big leagues with 40. To hang on here, their lead over the Padres would be at 6.5. Or make that 7. One more game between these two teams tomorrow. And then home for the Angels, who look like they are on their way to avoiding the sweep against the Rockies. Call offered for the first out of the 6th. And expresses his displeasure there, hanging around for an extra beat.
It's borderline, but he gets rung up on it.
One away for Freeland. 1 for 2 today. He's had a hit in each of his 3 starts since returning from AAA. Said he went back down and he was getting hits in the first series or so that he was back down in AAA, but swing didn't feel right. He's like, I don't know how I'm getting these hits. So he made an adjustment, felt pretty good about it. Gets called up. That's what you want. You want to be feeling good about your swing when the call comes. He gets here and the hitting coaches say, we don't like it. And we don't like. And he said, yeah, I actually don't know if I do either. I said he just kind of felt like he had been throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what would stick. And they said to him, look, why don't we, let's break this thing down. Let's come up with something that's sustainable instead of doing these little tweaks and trying to come up with something that you think is going to help you be good today. What can stick? And Robert Van Scoyoc said he made the point to him, look, you get at 20 home runs in the next month, and Tommy Edman's still on his way back from the injured list. There's going to be a roster crunch again. So let's not try and prove anything over this next week or two. Let's make this sustainable. And he was all in for it. Takes a walk right here. Now, what does that mean? Remember, at the start of the season, he had his hands way out extended in front of him like Matt Olson.
Yep.
He typically has been hands kind of by his ear, bat rested on his shoulder. They've settled into something that's more in between, less extreme one way or the other. And he said he does feel like he can sustain it. On right here for Ohtani, who has reached all 3 times. Tommy Edman, by the way, starting in left field tonight in his minor league rehab. It's going to be mostly second base, but also playing some left, playing some center, playing some third.
Very flexible baseball player, and he's kind of a gym rat. He loves to play and loves to hustle, and he brings some energy, even though he's got all the veteran status.
Big part of the value, big part of the reason they signed him to the contract was that he can play all those spots.
Yeah, different people need a day off. You got Tommy to fill in, and it's way more than a fill in.
Ohtani's OPS up to 936. Average 296. ERA 0.75.
It's a Hollywood movie character. There definitely been movies about his life made.
Line drive, base hit, right field. He has been on all 4 times.
This is some strength in this swing. He feels like he's going to get jammed, and he fights and fights and fights to get the barrel to it. Put some top hand into it. Gets through that, doesn't pop it up.
Two singles, 2 walks, and 5 scoreless innings on the mound.
Have a night. And it's not finished yet.
Strike on Pages. You're talking about the sub-1 ERA thing. If you were to do that, it'd be hard to deny him the Cy Young, even if there is a massive gap in innings. It's happened 1 time since 1900. We mentioned his name earlier tonight, actually. Dutch Leonard for the Boston Red Sox in 1914 had a 0.96. That's the only sub-1 qualified season. Modern era, so 1920 live ball era on. Bob Gibson's 1.12 ERA in the year of the pitcher, 1968. 2 of the 4 best ERAs ever came in that 68 season. Louis Tiant had a 1.60.
And they had to lower the mound. So Ohtani's pitch count tonight is 79 and his ERA is 0.75. Not many guys have pitch counts higher than their ERA. 10 starts into the year.
At first base, Fernandez has room to get Pages. So Pages 1 for 4, and here comes Freddie Freeman 1 for 3.
Shohei at 10 starts, having his ERA lower than his pitch count is harder than shooting your age in golf. It's like, it's unbelievable. It's even if he threw 120 pitches, an ERA of 1.2,
yeah.
Right? I mean, go throw as many pitches as you want. Figures lie, liars figure. Not with him. It feels like a lie. It's not.
Dodgers out hitting the Diamondbacks 10-1 in this game and leading 5-0. 2 on, 2 out. Clark's 2-0. Freeman gets under it, sends it way up there, whispering by the beams up there in the roof. It comes down to Vargas, who didn't look too sure of himself as it did, but he makes the catch and ends the inning. 5 innings and just 1 base runner against him. He's struck out 6. He's not walked anybody. Dominance.
Really is. Special night. Almost super special about Moreno's double. He's got 1 out on his slow curveball, and that was a looking strikeout. All other outs are coming from the four-seam fastball and the sweeper. And this is what he's struck people out with. Still, that fastball playing up is one of the most valuable pitches in baseball.
On to the 6th inning we go. 8-9-1 coming up for the Diamondbacks. It's Jose Fernandez to lead off. One of the 6 Ks for Ohtani was against Fernandez. He rifles a fastball in there. Kirsten was telling us before the game that Dave Roberts has already said that Ohtani's going to have tomorrow off. And Doc was saying he hopes that there's something freeing knowing that for Ohtani, knowing that he can pour it all out here.
Doc's terminology, empty the tank.
And then his analogy was Ohtani is a exotic sports car, is the way he put it. Finely tuned, and he said it has to be or it's just not going to be right. Talking back about the slump that he went through in early May. Muncy. Fernandez flying in time though. Tommy Troy with one gone. Line to center field his first time. 296 his first 10 games in the major leagues. Opponents against Ohtani the last 2 starts. 1 for 35. Rockies last week, another divisional opponent here in the Diamondbacks. Rockies, you could chalk it up to, well, Rockies. Diamondbacks, though, have been one of the top teams in baseball the last month. Catches a break in that there is no Ketel Marte. But it's certainly a step up from what he faced last time. There's his first walk of the day. It's on 4 pitches to Troy.
Even the best in the world can commit the cardinal sin of walking the 9-hitter.
Shohei was saying, you know, those 6 no-hit innings, he still wasn't happy about it because of all the free passes. So, you know, that'll be something that he's pleased with tonight. Just one of those to this point. Still not at his most efficient. That's the other remarkable thing about this, is that he's been awesome, but I think we've seen him better still. Right? He's fallen behind a few times, been some stretches where it looks like he's kind of searching for it.
It is rare when we see him look human. I mean, the command we saw in spring training and then for the first few starts was just immaculate. And it has faltered at times, but he figures out a way to get him out. He's really abandoned the split finger.
Perdomo slashes a base hit the other way.
This will be his biggest test of the night. First and second, and you got Carroll coming up. Guy who can leave the ballpark on you. Good piece of hitting by Perdomo to set the table here. This is an inning where Arizona can feel like they've got a little hope.
Troy at second, Perdomo at first, and Carrow's bounced out twice. Grounded to second for 1. Even with Carroll's speed, they turn 2. Had to be perfect with the Roadrunner busting up along first, and they were. 4-6-3, and Ohtani almost has been himself. 6 more scoreless innings for Shohei.
Purchase a special ticket package and receive your exclusive Pride Night jersey. That'll be on June 5th, presented by Blue Shield of California. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions for more information.
Brandon Pfaadt, who the Diamondbacks signed preemptively to a long-term contract prior to last season, has been demoted to the bullpen and has a .559 ERA. Moved to the pen after 3 bad starts, and it's not been a whole lot better in a relief role. Fastball misses away to Mookie Betts. Betts trying to join in on the fun. He's 0 for 3. Although did reach and score their first run. They got 2 in the second. They got 3 in the third. It's 21 or 11 runs the last 2 games after just the 1 run on Monday night. We can live right here. Win a heck of a lot of games. Doesn't have to be the 10-run outbursts like we've seen quite a few of. The feeling with the team is, though, that there are still too many of those 0 and 1 and 2-run games, so the offense just doesn't have any life to it at all. So nice seeing the middle ground here these last couple days, and nice seeing this guy do what he's done today. Kyle Tucker, 3 hits.
Yeah, on your left you see where he's hit the ball, and so the home run's out in front, the base hit to left, the ball on the left on the plate, and then the ball that he pulled, the line drive in the third at bat, is the ball on the right. Good spray pattern and good placement of where the bat and the barrel are meeting the ball.
Came into the game 3 for his last 26 and 3 for 3 tonight. Two 4-hit games last year. Last one last June.
All of his 3-hit games have been on the road. Nothing at Dodger Stadium yet to please that portion of the crowd.
Right at Perdomo, his position up the middle, and Fox retired the first 2 of the 7th. Back to that conversation about you get 5 runs in a game, life's going to be pretty good. Dodgers this season, when they score 5, 27-1.
Yeah, when you go above and you're getting those 10-run games with a lineup like the Dodgers have, that's going to happen. You just don't want to be saying when they score 1 or 2 or none, that's going to happen. This talented roster, that should rarely happen. They should be a 4-run plus team.
Muncy on 1-1, rips one to the right field corner, and that'll take off on Carroll. Muncy's got a double. So a couple guys who came in frustrated recently, and Tucker and Muncy with multi-hit games.
Both the left-handed version picking on right-handed pitching. This is a really good swing. Breaking ball, stays back, lets it get deep enough, keeps it fair. Top spins it down the line, gets himself 180 feet of bases.
Yeah, gets Will Smith another chance here in the 7th. 3 ground outs for Smith. Different story tonight than he saw first game of this series. Was hitting everything on the screws. Yeah, had a couple of hits taken away from him by the center fielder Barossa.
I never really think of Will as a guy that's going to get hot because he's just so steady. But with the way it's gone for him so far, he almost kind of needs to get hot to get to a batting average and an OPS where he's comfortable and it feels like himself.
Biggest dip has come in the slug. Gets on base right here. He's talking about it today because he's been pulling the ball less than ever, more line drives than ever though. I said, so, but what is the best version of you? And he said, well, statistically it's pulling the ball in the air, but he likes where he is using the whole field. And he said that the pulled fly balls, those tend to follow when I'm doing what I've been doing the last couple weeks. Can't force those pulled fly balls. And the all fields game that we're seeing right now, that's what it used to be completely for Will Smith. He only hit a handful of home runs his entire college career. Strike on Alex Call. First year in the minors, he hit 4. Only hit 11 in his second season in minor league baseball. Wasn't until he made a decision to add a little more pop and pull to his swing that he became that guy. But he was your traditional foot down early line drive hitter. And that remains, he says, the foundation of the whole thing. The home runs, the pulled fly balls, the slug follows that foundation, which he feels like he has under him right now. Oh, Call gets hit.
I wonder if it caught skin or that noise we heard was the elbow pad.
Got the pad, thank goodness.
Good. Right on the tip of the elbow, but the pad was at least covering it. Turns it into an interesting 2-out inning right here. The Dodgers could turn this into a little bit of a laugher with a base hit.
They're looking for their first tally since early. All 5 runs came over the first 3 innings. Freeland's got a single and a walk. Here he is with the bases loaded. Yeah, there's ball 1 in the dirt. So take a look here, like we were talking, Oral. The hands just kind of in the middle position. He says feels really comfortable and free. Instead of being wedged right up into his ear, and also instead of being extended fully out in front of him, just kind of comfy there in the middle. Jonathan Hernandez has started to loosen. Ohtani 6 scoreless in the books. Ground ball, base hit center field. Muncy's in. Here comes Smith. 2-run single, Alex Freeland, who's on for the 3rd time tonight.
That base hit makes you smile and maybe laugh a little bit. 7-0 Dodgers. A 2-out double from Muncy, and all of a sudden you get a walk and a hit batter and then a ground ball that's hit just hard enough. A 3-hopper up the middle finds 2 ribeye steaks.
And there's the bottom of the order again for the Dodgers. Most productive bottom of the order in baseball. A little 2-out rally. Gets 2 more across. 4 consecutive 2-out base runners here.
multiple base runners in 5 of 7 innings and 18 base runners total in just 7 innings. And look who's coming up.
Perfect night at the plate. 2 hits, 2 singles. He's only reached base 5 times in a game in which he started 1 time. Ohtani, who's got a home run against Fod in his career, home run and a double, has given up 3 base runners to the entire team and reached base 4 times himself. Two hits, 1 walk for Arizona. Double, single, hit batter, single, all with 2 outs here in the 7th. And now 1-1 pitch to Ohtani.
His last at bat, he did a great job staying strong and getting the top hand through on a high pitch right there on that last foul ball. Same thing. In this hot streak, with his good posture and balance, he's able to drop the head of the bat on the low pitch, and he's able to stay strong and through on the high pitch.
No budging.
Oh, it's actually, you know, you watch, his eyes don't move. As he loads, his eyes are barely moving. He is reading the whole pitch as good as his vision is. No excess movement.
Swing and a miss at a curve, and that ends the inning. But the Dodgers get their first run since early. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Sit and Sleep, SoCal's most trusted mattress store. 6 scoreless innings for Ohtani tonight, has his ERA down to 0.74. Call to the bullpen is brought to you by Jacoby and Myers, and with a 7-0 lead, they hand the ball to Jonathan Hernandez, who's been good so far. He's pitched 6 innings and given up just 1 hit. There's a solo home run to Bryson Stott his last time.
Nice opportunity to raise his stock.
Heart of the order here for the D-backs. Gabriel Moreno, who had the first base hit of the game against Ohtani, and 1 of just 2. So Shohei's ERA down to 0.74. That is the 3rd best through 10 starts in Major League history. DeGrom in 2021, Marichal in 66, and then Ohtani, who's is even a little bit better than Dutch Leonard in his record-setting 1914 season. He had a 0.79 through 10 starts. And that, keep in mind, was during the dead ball era. Everybody had a good ERA.
Also a little looser with errors back then because of the way the gloves were constructed. There were not as many spectacular plays, so a lot more errors.
You're talking about the glove RV earlier.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that. That sounds awesome.
About what now? Yeah, it was the Mizuno brought their glove manufacturers to Dodgertown and to other camps, of course, and it was an RV, and they'd have 3 or 4 glove makers in there, and if you happened to be with Mizuno or they were trying to recruit you, they would custom make your glove right there in front of you. Take them about a half hour or 45 minutes maybe to build the glove, and then you could pick your webbing or your color or your sewing or your stitching, and then they would actually break the glove in for you. And they'd say, how do you want it to break in? You put it on your hand. You go, I want my pocket to be right about there, and I want it to feel like this. And when you close the glove, how do you want it closing? Do you want it closing from the thumb and the pinky? Do you want it to close more the whole, all the fingers? Do you want it to feel like there's a line in the glove where the pocket is, or do you want it to be rounded? And they would break it in, and they would start hammering the cotton in a certain way, because the glove has a lot of cotton in it, right? The layers, and they're breaking the layers of the cotton down depending on where you want it to be soft and where you want it to stay firm.
Strikeout for Hernandez to begin his game, and 7 total for the Dodgers today. They got 7 runs, and now they've had 7 Ks, and so you get the free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at LA area Jack in the Box restaurants. You can do that these days. You can get online, customize a glove, but that sounds way more fun going to have it made right in front of you.
Right in front of you, yeah. And those guys were artists. Talk about craftsmen. It's the kind of thing where I would, as a young player, I would get my workout done, get done with it, and before I go over and watch the big league game, if it was a home game, I just go in there and watch them.
Wow.
Like, this is cool. I wasn't even with Mizuno, never got a glove from him, but I liked watching them build them.
Sitting over their shoulder, breathing on them.
No, there was a hatch door also. You could see them in there. They had the big swinging, I don't know what you would call it, a huge shutter that comes up off the side of the RV. So you could look in.
Picture it.
Yeah. Almost like a sunshade. Opened it up the whole side.
Like a food truck for gloves.
Yeah, great.
They dipping and diving, 2-2 on Arenado.
You know, the glove you can get nowadays online, just even if you're a little leaguer, a high school player, college player, that was only for big leaguers back in the day.
$400.
Yeah, but they're sweet. Sounds like you want to go back to the days where they leave their gloves on the field and the opposing team uses them.
Right.
They just have them out there.
Yeah. Maybe a hand-me-down already broken in for you.
Gloves are very personal. You go into a big league locker room, you're as a player, clubby, anybody, a guest, do not put someone else's glove on. That is a huge sin. That glove is formed perfectly for that player's hand, and it doesn't need a bigger or smaller hand in there, or somebody squeezing it or playing catch with it any differently than the big leaguer.
Arenado snaps his bat right there after a second consecutive K for Hernandez.
A breaking ball, and he has chased a few here, and that frustration built up.
How about this, though, from Jonathan Hernandez, Oral? 6 2/3 innings, 1 hit, 7 Ks to 1 walk. A little bit of time in the major leagues, but it had been a couple of years. The Rangers, Seattle for just a few games, but mostly with the Texas Rangers, but then a few games at the Mariners. Hadn't pitched in the big leagues in 2 years when the Dodgers picked him up from the Phillies a few weeks ago. Ground ball to first, easy one for Freddie Freeman. Feeds Hernandez, who's got a 1-2-3 7th. Frustrating Arenado and the Diamondbacks as the Dodgers have these last couple nights. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Lincoln Financial. Make your pastimes last a lifetime. They used to have Cold Stone Creamery in the press box here. Yeah. And those kids took it all. That's the gotta have it size, right? Pages grounds Brandon Fox first pitch foul. Like it, love it, gotta have it.
Okay.
Those are the sizes that
You got a Cold Stone.
I got a sweet
You
tooth.
too many times. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Just period.
Yeah.
I like cookie dough, brownie, stuff with like baked chunks in it.
I like chocolate chip mint.
Okay.
Chocolate mint chip. I don't know which way you say it.
I think the words are a little out of order, but we all know what you're talking about.
That's typical for me.
Van Leeuwen has one that is a personal favorite. Birthday cake.
Oh, okay.
It's got brownie chunks and Oreo pieces, but then also blue frosting swirl. It's awesome.
No sprinkles in there?
I don't know if there are. There are in there. You know, have you been to Cold Stone?
A few times back in the
day. They make it
day.
in front of you right there on the Cold Stone itself.
The sea salt caramel.
Love that.
That's to die for.
21 choices in Pasadena is similar where they make it right in front of you, all the mix-ins.
Is that off of Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pages takes a leadoff walk.
Yeah, we went into baseball glove making. I think we could go into ice cream sundae making. Ice cream in a glove is usually sometimes you do that at a ballpark, right? They put it in a helmet. I'd like to see it in a glove. That'd be interesting.
That'd be a little messy. We should use a catcher's mitt if we're going to do that.
That's
Put it
true.
right down
I
to
like
the palm
that.
of it.
Yeah, that's a good call right there. And if it comes with like a cracker or something, you put it up there where the webbing of the catcher's mitt is.
Reading about a new ice cream that they have at the Benjamin in Hollywood.
Okay.
They have these amazing cookies there, and they've started an ice cream in the bar up above where it's pieces of the cookie dough that they use to make these amazing cookies, stuffed in vanilla ice cream and chocolate-covered chips on top, like potato chips. I mean,
yeah, with the little salt there.
I'm gonna have to get back to the Benjamin and try that.
Sounds like a road trip.
To Hollywood?
Yeah.
2-1.
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. Get in the party bus. Go get you some ice cream.
I wonder if a food delivery service could get you that without melting to the house.
You know, they do ice cream delivery.
Yeah.
Not my proudest bit of knowledge.
Are there some late night deliveries after games to your house of ice cream delivery? Or?
I think you know the answer to that. That would be no, but I have done it one time.
Okay.
Last week.
I would say that you guys at your house probably have crumble cookie.
Love that.
Brought to the house a few times. Do you like it? Like if you order food to go in the delivery service, then they give you these extra time to order crumble cookie, and they'll stop and swing by and pick that up for you, or they'll pick up something else for you.
It's called the double dash.
Is that what that is? Okay.
Sometimes you need some toothpaste. Pages runs. Freeman bangs a base hit to right. Noted cookie fan Freddie Freeman has his second hit of the ball game. His fifth, the last two.
And the hits just keep on coming. Shohei carried this offense for a little bit back a few games ago, but Freddie then joined him in game 2 of this series, and that helped out. This lineup is getting longer and longer.
7 runs on 13 hits, 2 on, nobody out. Mookie Betts coming up, and that's going to do it for Brandon Pfaadt. Ryan Thompson gets ready to enter for Arizona.
First 40,000 fans on June 20th will take home an exclusive Shaquille O'Neal bobblehead. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Ryan Thompson comes on. Mookie's probably bummed he doesn't get a chance to face Fott. He's a .440 hitter with a pair of home runs against Fott. And Thompson, no fun to face. He throws like that. Thompson gave up 5 runs in a 2-game span to the surprising White Sox. Outside of that, though, 1 run in his other 23 games. Continuation of what he did in the second half last year. Rough start, but was one of the best in baseball back half of the summer. Perdomo picks this one off. And Mookie's 0 for 5.
Snake bit.
Right fielder, Kyle Tucker.
Best night in a while for Tucker, who's homered and gotten 3 hits. By the way, Mookie hit that 108.
That was the same as Ohtani did in the first inning, but his got to bounce and they ruled it a hit even though it hit leather. Hit it through the second baseman. Mookie needed that one to skip a little bit off the dirt.
Series will wrap up tomorrow, this long 4-game series. Justin Robleski, after striking out 9 against the Phillies last weekend. Ryan Nelson for Arizona.
Robo's velo in that outing ticked up.
He belongs in the All-Star conversation.
He sure does.
7-2, 287. In Philly this summer for our nation's 250th. Perfect place to have it. Wrigley next year.
Wow. It'll be fun to see.
As if we don't have enough reasons to make sure next year happens.
Yeah.
It's glad to see the discussions have begun.
Yes, you start very far apart in negotiations like that, and you need a pressure point to start to understand where the deal might be. But at the beginning, when the offers are there on one side or the other, you start to develop a landscape at least that you can get closer to where you think things are going to end up.
Tucker down on strikes. Just the fact that they've started the conversation. It didn't love the idea of it kind of waiting until they had to. This feels proactive.
You know what? I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see us not have any labor strife. That it can get worked out without losing any baseball, losing any spring training.
Game's too healthy right now.
It's really healthy, and especially healthy on the West Coast, right? With the Dodgers. I mean, this would be a sad time to lose games watching this team.
Ball one on Muncy. Strikeout for Tucker was only the 4th of the day for the team. They have more walks than they do Ks in this game. It's been an all-around offensive performance. 7 runs on 13 hits and 5 walks. Looking for more here. Muncy looking for a 3rd hit. Deuce is wild here. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 on Max Muncy. Dodgers' 7 runs have come in 3 innings. 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the 7th.
I started worrying about Max until tonight when he got these hits, when you told me about when he loosens up that he hears sounds coming out of his forearm from where he got hurt and hit. Kind of like a crunchy crepitus probably feeling.
Crunchy crepitus?
Like a crunching crepitus. Like a kid.
What's a crepitus?
It's a crunch. Look it up.
All right, good. As we go to the bottom of the 8th. Don't forget to stay tuned when this game wraps up, because we've got Access Sportsnet Dodgers coming afterwards. A lot of good for these guys to rehash. 6 scoreless innings from Shohei Ohtani. Good night for the offense. 7-zip. Couple defensive changes. Espinal into the game at third and Rojas in at short. We got a football score here. Rams over the Cardinals, 7-0. 3 sacks for Myles Garrett. Ryan Waldschmidt leads off the 8th. Chops the first one. Jonathan Hernandez throws.
Did you want to hear about Muncie's crackling?
Yeah.
What crepitus is?
Sure.
Grinding, crackling, popping, and crunching sounds and sensations felt when a joint moves.
Well done. Espinal just in time. Nice play.
You know what Dr. Krajewski said to me and started laughing at me? He said, yeah, but the word hasn't been used for 65 years.
You're bringing it back. Bringing crepitus back. Vargas 0 for 2. Switch hitter much better from the other side. Takes the ball away. 19 pro seasons for Ildemaro Vargas. And here in his 19th, people getting to know his name in a widespread way for the first time. Who knows where the numbers end up, but best hitter in baseball the first month. He had his headline, he had his time in the sun. And still providing a lot of value to him with what he's done defensively, playing a position that he's hardly ever played at first. Bounces this ball right side to Freddie Freeman, and one first baseman gets another. 2 gone in the 8th. Now Vargas has shared first base with this guy right here, in Jose Fernandez. It was supposed to be Carlos Santana. The veteran got hurt a couple days into the season, and so Vargas and Fernandez have platooned over there. Fernandez only a handful of games there in his life.
Hernandez on the mound has a lot of life when he throws the baseball. He's got good movement. This is really just about finding command. And these numbers that he's putting up could continue. Here, a 3-0 count. Those are the kind of at-bats he's got to stay away from. Be more consistent in the zone and trust that movement. It could be really good.
Walked him on 4 pitches here.
7-0. You can just be, with his movement and velocity at 97, he could just be using the center of the plate. He's the kind of guy that you just like hit it weakly early in the count. Here it is. I don't want to have to throw another good pitch.
Strike on Troy.
The Robleski theory. It used to be the Kershaw theory.
What about league average strikeout rate through his major league career? Well above average ground ball rate, though.
If he's consistently down by the knees, the hitters are going to say, make him get the ball up, make him get the ball up, and then he's going to have the ability to create some holes at the top of the strike zone with a four-seamer or a sidearm fastball up there. But if the hitters realize that he can't just keep the ball down and he is erratic with the command, then they are just going to look for mistakes.
Got him in the corner. 6 outs recorded by Jonathan Hernandez. 3 of them on ground balls, 3 of them on strikeouts. Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. One-sided tonight. After a couple good ball games to open this series, Diamondbacks had a late comeback on Monday night, and the Dodgers hung on last night. 7-0 here to the top of the 9th inning. All started by Shohei Ohtani. Dodgers 3 outs away from a 7th shutout win. And the team with more, the Phillies, have 8.
Third consecutive series where the Dodgers have lost game 1 but come back and won the next 2.
Smith lines the ball into center field, and he's got his first hit of the game. Or his second hit of the game, beg your pardon.
Left fielder Alex Cole.
Shouldn't have second guessed myself. I was right the first time. He had a walk. Now he's got a hit.
I'm just glad to see a line drive fall in for him. I mean, I would have been rooting for a bloop, but he'll take the line drive and feel doubly good about it.
Good to see Call still in the game after he got hit by a pitch. It was scary for a moment, but then saw that it had gone off his elbow pad. Pops out to the right side of the infield. 1 gone in the 9th.
Second baseman Alex Freeland.
And now Freeland, 2 more hits, a walk, and 2 runs batted in. 8 of the 9 guys in the starting lineup have reached base, not period, but multiple times. Mookie Betts the only guy that hasn't reached multiple times.
The offense might get the headline, but it's been the starting pitcher with Ohtani, what he did and what these starters have done over the long haul. You guys have really set the table for this winning streak that these guys are on. Last 10 starts, they have an ERA of 1.66. They've given up 2 or fewer runs, the starters have, in all 10.
We're talking about the early offense as well. Works hand in hand, right? You get the offense knowing if they get a couple, they're going to be in a great spot. You got pitchers who can be extra comfy, pitching with an early lead.
And it's not just superstars in that rotation. It's 3 young guys. Sheehan, Sasaki, and Robo tomorrow. Those 3 guys have really done a number. And then Lauer joined in. And of course, Ohtani is having the year he's having, and Yamamoto is still looking like he's going to have a big year.
Just looking through the starting pitchers' ERAs. You got Ohtani's now down to 0.74. Yamamoto 2.86. Robleski 2.87. Glass now, before he was hurt, 2.72. And then Sheehan and Sasaki trending in the right direction. Sheehan overall 450. Sasaki 459. Sasaki, though, finishing off a month of May where it was 318.
Alex Freeland, he looks like he likes where his hands are. He's some really good approaches and getting the barrel in the right place. A lot of different pitches.
Into left center field. That's down, his third hit.
Nice job, hitting department.
Designated hitter, Shohei.
Free and easy. Looks very relaxed and athletic. Doesn't look like he's thinking about mechanics, because the adjustment they're making is they're at the beginning with the hands in the position. After that, he can just compete.
One more try for Ohtani. What a busy night it's been. 6 scoreless innings, and now at the plate a 6th time.
This is where you see him go for home run number 11. He's going to open the swing up a little bit. I thought that happened to Kyle Tucker maybe in his last 2 at-bats, after having a few, the win kind of over there, all the runs, already having the home run in his back pocket, another hit after that.
Broken bat flare right field in front of Corbin Carroll to load the bases up. And Ohtani's reached base 5 times, 3 for 4 with a pair of walks.
A few different souvenirs after that swing, with all the bat shattering in multiple pieces. Somebody will want a splinter. This was an Ohtani bat.
Loizaga.
The guy coming up, one of the best with runners in scoring position.
That is manifested in a major league leading 51 runs batted in. But yeah, the average with runners in scoring position still above 400. His OPS in these situations up above 1,300. If you're not up on OPS, the MVP usually has it in the high 1,000s, like, you know, just over 1,000, up around 1,100, 1,300 plus.
The one that he's going to hit a long way if he can get it in the air is the sinker on the inner half from this pitcher. That pitch there, but inside and up slightly. Challenge.
The batter's challenging the pitch. The pitch is a strike. Los Angeles has 1 challenge remaining.
It's one of the lowest leverage challenges.
Yeah.
7-0.
I mean, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yep.
2-2 pitch.
That was the one I've been looking for. Something on the inner half right there. The 2-0 one, he took it. It looked like he was taken all the way. It was right down the middle up.
Strikes him out. 2 away.
Got it in there. That one just ate him up inside. It had good movement. And he could have read it a little earlier. It was a ball. It definitely looked like where he was looking and wanted to hack at something in that area.
And Torey Lovullo's going to make a change here. Instead of letting Thompson face Freddie Freeman, much to Thompson's dismay, Loizaga is going to come in instead. Dodgers got what turned out to be the decisive runs in last night's game against Jonathan Loizaga. On to face Freddie Freeman, bases loaded in a 7-0 game. Two hits, couple runs knocked in for Freeman. Everybody stuffing the stat sheet tonight. Especially the lefties, who are 13 out of 23 with a few walks in there.
Freddie looks very patient and professional in the box. He's grinding this one out. He's not going to just throw this at bat away.
Back-to-back Ks there to strand the bases loaded. To the bottom of the ninth we go with the Dodgers in front 7-0. In this game, he's reached base 5 times, and on the mound he thrilled. 6 scoreless innings, only a couple of base runners against him, and number 17, the biggest reason for the 7-0 lead to the bottom of the ninth.
It is so much fun to watch him put a uniform on and do both in the same night. We know he can be elite doing both, but when he does both at an elite level on the same night, it's quite a show.
Jack Dreyer on to look for the last 3 outs. Hey, June 3rd, 1989. Longest game in Dodger history, 7 hours and 14 minutes, 22 innings. What do you remember about that?
It was a side day for me, but our bullpen was a little thin, and Tommy asked me to hold off on my side work in case he needed me for an inning, and I pitched innings 14 through 20.
Arm's still sore.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 days. Time for you to work out, Bulldog. It's going to be a long workout. I think we lost at the end there in 22 innings, and Jeff Hamilton, our third baseman, was pitching.
Perdomo's the first out of the ninth at 5-4. Dodgers haven't played an extra innings game all year this year. 61 games in is the longest in LA Dodger history without playing an extra innings game. It's the 9th longest streak in Major League history to open a season without going into extras.
Eddie Murray was on that team in '89. Willie Randolph was on that team in '89. Gibby was still with us.
On the ground to second, routine for Freeland, and a couple ground outs for Jack Dreyer. All the pitchers have been inducing ground balls tonight. Ohtani did it at a high level. 6 outs for Jonathan Hernandez, half of them strikeouts, half of them ground outs, and a couple of them to open this ninth for Dreyer.
If you're going to let the opposing team make contact, this is a great defense to have behind you. And Robleski is of that theory tomorrow. I think we'll see some more good defense and well-positioned guys.
Strikeout Moreno, Robleski, and Nelson, and another one at 6:40. Just a one-city trip, but it feels like a long trip with the 4 games in one town, and then that 4th game being a night game as well. Often getaway day games come at you quick.
And then the Angels come to Dodger Stadium. These Dodgers will probably get their head on their pillow somewhere around 2:30 in the morning. By the time we get back and get the luggage, get in their cars, get to their homes, and play a night game against the Angels the next night.
Another grounder. Oh, but it gets by Espinal.
Broadcaster Jinx talking about the good fielders behind him. Not so fast. Looked like Espinal was trying to snatch it quickly because he knew he needed to make a quick exchange and get the ball over to first quickly. Just didn't get it in the glove first. Missed the first step.
Strike on Arenado, whose frustrations boiled over earlier tonight. Slammed his bat down and snapped it in half. A wild pitch from Dreyer. Moreno into scoring position. Diamondbacks trying to, at the very least, get on the board here and avoid the shutout. In the air to left for Alex Call. And a complete win for the Dodgers tonight. They out-hit the Diamondbacks 16-2 and win the game 7-0.
Lose game 1, win the next 2. Usually that means you win the series, but this is a 4-game series. They'll have to win again tomorrow to win their 6th series in a row.
They've won 16 of their last 20 and handed off to Justin Robleski in search of what you're talking about. Tonight it was Shohei Ohtani doing what he seems to do every time that he takes the ball. 6 more scoreless innings. Hardly a hint of a threat against him. Laurel Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew. Joe Davis saying so long from Phoenix. Stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow night.